It's time, once again, for SnowRunner. In today's episode, we'll be scouting our first territory. We'll go all along the watchtowers, with a bonus or two. We've only done a few things since last arrived at the garage. Jumped into the fleet star that was out front. We recovered that guy. Next, we sold the trailer that we brought with us for the first mission. We used that to buy a few things for our con. First thing you want to grab is more power, baby. It's gonna go ahead and sell that old engine. Next, we're gonna grab the autonomous scout and get us out of trouble, even if our engine's not working. Now, as we approach the marsh here, you're gonna want to go ahead and stop and pick up this first task. There's no limit to the amount of active tasks you can have, so you're gonna want to go ahead and just queue them up as you drive by them. Now, as we head into the marsh here, you're gonna get to see where the con really shines and why I chose this truck to do the starting scouting with. Cue that beautiful bog footage. Now, that's not to say that you can't get the scouting done with the Chevy. You're just gonna have to be way more careful about it. Go ahead and grab this task here. While it's in front of us, we'll come back to this later. Next, onto the watchtower. So let's get back into it about the con. Why do we choose this truck? Well, it's the tires, really. Beginning of the game, you start with highway tires, and they're pretty much garbage. If you want to go anywhere like this, you're going to need mud tires, and the only thing that's going to get you that out of the gate is the con. That being said, one thing mud tires definitely don't get along with is the pavement. You can learn from my mistakes. I'd like to take this time to say thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this video and would like to see more of my content, please like and subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel. I'll also be streaming on Twitch. The schedule will be in the description. Gonna make use of some map footage from earlier. I've plotted a route through the next watchtower here. And drop some points to get us down this hill and on our way up to the gas station. Con is a great little truck for scouting Black River, but it does have two major drawbacks in my opinion. First is that you cannot attach a trailer, and the second is its 40-liter gas tank. As you can see, I've kicked it into overdrive here, sped up the footage a bit. SnowRunner is an amazing game. It is not a quick game. If you got a steady internet connection, there's always multiplayer as an option for quicker progression. You can have players join in and help you complete various activities, or you can join their game. Progress made in other players' lobby will reward you stars and money. However, it will not complete the tasks in your personal save. And here we are. This is Watchtower 3 of 7. Sorry, I forgot to launch the observation on that one. Cruising right on through on our way to the gas station. Bouncing our way through this little rocky terrain. SnowRunner is the third installment in the Spin Tires franchise. Spin Tires came first, then there was MudRunner, and now we're on to SnowRunner. How many of them have you played? I'll take a moment to stop at the gas station, grab ourselves some provisions. What do you guys think about the film grain? I think it makes it look pretty great. Nighttime looks extra creepy. Going to the old murder motel here. Pick up this task before we cruise into town. Doesn't that shine on the lights? Everything just looks nice and eerie. Another task accepted. And move it right along. It's a nice nighttime welcome into Black River. And we're free to cruise right down the middle of Main Street because there is nothing here except the sound of the wind and the dogs. Let's see our next watchtower in the distance. Stack those tasks. Rock Slide here is a great example of why you want to grab your tasks as you drive by them. That let us know that there's a blockage on the road ahead. We won't be able to move any major cargo through without clearing it. So later when we're ready to do that, we'll be able to pop open our map and see exactly what we need. Another one for the docket. And finally, Tower 4 comes into view. What do you think about the first person? I think it looks pretty great. You guys think it's good for filming? Third person better? Let me know in the comment section. Took this crossing like a chump. Kept it in automatic. Better idea to go into low gear. That way your diff lock can actually take effect. Drag yourself out of that mud. Now we can check another one off the list. Cue that observation. Now what we're about to take on, if you've never played the game, it's one of the most intimidating parts of the map. Followed immediately by what is the biggest barrier on Black River, and that is the flooded river crossing. It's definitely a real accomplishment later on when you get to take this on with the regular trucks, but you need a lift, better tires, things that'll come with time, but we don't have access to yet, so we're gonna take the easy way out and cruise right on through with the con. My favorite scout is the International Lodestar, and I'll show you what happens if you try to take her over here right now. It's got the all-wheel drive, it's got the diff lock, but without the tires or a lift, you're going nowhere slowly. What's your favorite scout truck? Did you struggle your first time when you were in Black River, or did you find it pretty easy to navigate? I know I had a hard time just getting started with the Chevy. I really like the International Scout that you can find on this map. Not to be confused with the International Lodestar that you just saw me driving, because that's a different truck entirely. Early game perks for the International Scout is that it includes all-wheel drive and diff lock right away. Now that is at least the third or fourth time I've mentioned diff lock. If you're new to the game, as I suspect many of you watching hold that thought, this is it, the river crossing. You wouldn't know it by looking at this footage, but this is the bane of your Black River existence. We're gonna use that diff lock to cruise right on through. Alright dude, you said it again, just explained it already. Well, the differential is the part of your drivetrain that ensures the power is evenly distributed to all four wheels. In normal circumstances, when you're turning, the outside wheel spins faster than the inside wheel. But if you're off-roading or driving through mud, it could be advantageous to lock your wheels to ensure that they spin at the same speed. Consequence of this is it's going to throw your turn radius out the window, but it makes sure that one wheel doesn't lose traction. You can finally see Tower 4 come into the distance as we crest this hill. Moving on up through these rocks, and we're just about there. Observation time. I think we're doing a good job here, moving right through Black River. Plot our next route. I mentioned a bonus at the beginning of the video. Here's our first one. On the way to this tower, there's a drowned truck. Choosing to make this little detour could be testing the limits of Khan's gas tank, but I think it's worth the drive since we're up here. Speaking of drive, all-wheel drive is one of the other options we get for some of the trucks in this game. It's a very powerful upgrade. Cost of using it is going to be gas mileage, but it allows you to send power into all four of your wheels. Combine that with diff lock, and you ensure that you have power spinning to all of your wheels that have contact with the ground. Gonna need it for most of the worst situations you come across in this game. In my opinion, the best trucks in the game have toggleable all-wheel drive and toggleable diff. And here we are, we find ourselves at the Chevy Kodiak. Go ahead and recover that. Give that truck a try, let me know what you think about it. I've used it a fair bit, but never really felt like I found its niche. We'll plot our route to Tower 5 and be on our way. Apologies to this poor tree I just destroyed, but I think it was projecting stump rage. These tree stumps will be the bane of your existence in the SnowRunner. While later on you'll find them buried in bushes. When you've got a huge trailer behind you. Winding our way up this hill and on to Watchtower 5. As we plot our route to the next watchtower, jump into the subject of camber. It's a term you might hear in the world of off-roading. It refers to the slope of a surface that you might be riding on, or in our case, avoiding. Notice I plotted the route right up that hill next to us instead of trying to go around it. Helps us avoid any unnecessary chance of tipping. It's a shame we haven't snagged the mission that sends us to this location. Throw caution to the wind and go right through the trees. Oh, sorry, guy. Good thing our drivetrain didn't suffer any damage. 13 liters in the tank. Not gonna lie, at this point, fuel was a bit of a concern for me. Didn't know if we'd be able to make it to this tower and a gas station, or if I'd be recovering and just drive into the 7th straight from the garage. To be honest, that's probably the faster option, but we'll keep a sense of immersion and keep on driving. We'll wind it on up, and tower 6 of 7. Small fuel tank, but great gas mileage. It looks like we're gonna make it. We're gonna make a stop at the gas station on the way to our final tower in the home stretch of our journey here. Do you guys prefer to see liters or gallons on your heads-up display? Even though I live in the States, I'm a fan of liters. I find it's easier to read the larger increments. Get a better idea of my fuel range. Take it on down through the farm. Get some of your first major contracts here. Let's get a view of this muddy landscape. Forgot I can't pick up cargo with a scout. Back into the woods, the home stretch. Throw down a route so we don't get lost. Thanks again for joining me on this journey. We're almost at Tower 7. If you've enjoyed the ride and you haven't done so yet, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. Let me know what you think. Things you liked about the video, things you hated. What kind of content would you like to see in the future? Lesson I learned, when you speed up the footage, the audio does not get accelerated as well. But with that, there we have it. 7 out of 7. Just seen every scouting tower in Black River taken care of. Now we have our full map open. We can see all our tasks, all our upgrades available. And since we're up on this mountain, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the mission somewhere beyond the spruces that is up on top of this hill. That is the first time I managed to roll the con this mission. Feel good about that. That autonomous winch we bought earlier just came into play. Got us rolling back up the hill. We'll wind it down and keep this at regular speed here. And just about at the end of the video. As you make it through this ravine, hopefully without damaging your engine too much, and prepare to go up this hill, watch out for the camber. If you cut into your left too sharply here, you'll end up tipping yourself over rolling down the hill. Or just having to winch yourself up on the tree that's next to you. As you ascend this, you're probably going to need to get the winch involved. Most trucks get very tippy here, including the con. That is that, folks. We have done it. Scouted Black River, picked up a truck, even completed a mission. Got lots of tasks banked for the future. Stay tuned. In the next episode, I'll cover more early game tips and tricks to help you get through the content. See you next time.